Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about The Sex Lives of College Girls Season 3, Episode 1. So, it's been 2 long years since Season 2, and the third season has finally come out. Now, I've talked about this season, Season 1 and Season 2. Season 1, oh my god, dude, I went in way too much in depth. My video was so long, I had to break it down into 2 videos. And the reason for that isn't because this is like the greatest show in the world or my favorite show in the world. I think it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a pretty okay show. It's pretty cool. But I do have some problems with it. Some of the writing could be a little bit better. The jokes definitely could be a whole lot better. Like in this season, they say funny things, but I never laugh. And the reason for that is still to this day, they never let a joke breathe. They say their jokes so fast and then they move on to something else super fast. It doesn't give me time to like digest it and, absorb it all in. I just wish they would pause a little bit because there's no laugh track, which I appreciate. But shows that don't have a laugh track that are comedies, I can still laugh because they let their jokes breathe, which they talk so fast in this show, they never let it breathe. And the other little problem I have with this show is like the male versus female things. It's like there's sexual misconduct all throughout this show, both males and females, but it seems like they write the most heinous and worst thing for the males where they're chastised for, and the females just get like a slap on the wrist and, oh, ain't that cute. I don't like that. If it's bad enough for guys, that'd be bad for the girl. But the girls are always written to be like minor sexual misconduct type stuff. But the guys are always written to be major, like perverted or like predator type things. I'm just like, why? Like the things Bella does in like season 1 and 2, you would call a man out for that. And I don't know why they do that. Now, it's been a long time since I watched this show, 2 years and everything. So I'm kind of forgetting some of the storylines that in some of the past 2 seasons. But I remember the gist towards the end and the big cliffhangers and stuff. And I said this before when the trailer 3 came out. The trailer ruined the entire premise of season 2 finale. All those cliffhangers, like in the trailer, just like, oh, so they don't matter. So the question is, do they address those cliffhangers or do they just like pass it all along? They address them for this episode and this episode only. They're so rushed. It is unbelievable. So basically, they do a time jump. Summer has now passed and it's their sophomore year. And all those cliffhangers, while they linger throughout the rest of the episode, they get wrapped up so quickly, it's beyond insane. How fast do those cliffhangers last? For about 30 seconds to a minute. And it's about a 40-minute episode. So both those 2 huge cliffhangers of the whole Kimberly, Keenan, Whitney, and then of course the whole Bella storyline literally get wrapped up in about 2 to 3 minutes. And I kid you not. And I'm just like 40 minutes and it only took that long to wrap those up. And I'm just like, when you combine like the total, they're about 2 minutes each. So anyway, 2 to 4 minutes. I don't appreciate that whatsoever. These storylines should have lingered through the rest of the season. We could have got some really good juice out of them, but instead they're just going to go to whatever new storyline there is. And I feel like that's a disservice to the fans, and Mindy Kaling should know better. This is not her first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? However, watching this first episode, which by the way, that's all you can watch because like they're going to drop episodes per week. So this show is literally not going to get done until January of 2025. And I actually got HBO Max for this stinking show. Because I told, like, if you ever watched my channel before, you know I don't like HBO Max. Everything on my watch list I have already watched. And so there's no need for me to have like HBO Max, because the only two new shows that I watch is this one and The Last of Us. The Last of Us ain't gonna come out till next year. Yeah, there's a couple of like DC animated movies that recently came out last year I didn't watch, so I can watch that. And that new Superman show on Cartoon Network, but that's about it, because there's really nothing. This is why I don't like getting streaming apps. Whenever I do, I tend to just watch stuff I've already watched. Things that I like that are already now canceled. There aren't that many new shows that I find interesting enough to want to watch. And one reason why is because a lot of stuff get canceled. Now, this third season is only going to be 6 episodes. And I fear this could be the last season, only because there's only 6 episodes, which is reduced from the 10 episodes they used to have. It took so long for it to come out, but why did it take so long to come out, you're wondering? Well, there was a couple of roadblocks. First of all, there was, oh wait, I didn't even say what I was going to say before. I completely forgot. Apparently, the producers and the writers and Mindy and all of them have been paying attention to what the fans said, because 2 storylines or 2 characters in this season, they have actually paid attention to and have changed their characters and stuff. So that's a good thing. They're listening to the audience. One storyline I'm very glad they fixed, and another one I'm very pissed off about. But the roadblocks, what were the roadblocks that caused this to come out 2 years later? Well, first, you had the actor strike. Then you had the writer strike. And then the thing that shook the fandom of this show, Reneé Rapp left. Yes, Reneé Rapp threw a proverbial monkey wrench into the show, which caused him to have to be delayed a little bit longer so they can write around her character and change whatever storylines they were going to go forward with and everything. And I've touched on this a little bit before about her leaving, but I'm about to give my honest to God blunt opinion about her leaving. Before I say anything, first let me say I like her a lot as an actress. Her character, Lighton, or how you say her name, is the best character in the show in terms of character development, because she started off as like this like rich stuck-up girl with an attitude who was a closeted lesbian, which mirrors Renee's real life. Like, Renee is sassy in real life. Like, if you ever follow her online, you know, or see her in an interview, like on the Tonight Show or something, she has sass to her, right? But she's also was a bit closeted. See, in 2022, she said she was bisexual. She's dated guys, but in 2024, she came out as a lesbian and is now dating a girl. And so, like, you know, so she kind of mirrored her character a little bit, right? But her character, in terms of all the characters on the show, is the best well written. Like, they really took their time to flesh out a character and make her likable, make her accept who she is, because she had a hard time coming out. And not only that, but you know, she was rich, her family's like rude and stuck up. She's the type of person who will just throw her money to her friends and let them have a good time because she knows they don't have it. Like, she wants them to have a good time whenever they go somewhere. Her coming out was the hardest thing for her, and she really struggled with that. Then her girlfriend left her. She started dating other people. Her and her girlfriend later got back together at the end of season 2. And now here we are. So she was the best. I've said this so many times in the past reviews. She's the best well-written character. But after doing the Mean Girls movie, she decided she wanted to quit the show and return back to her roots in Broadway and actually do more singing. She wants to start like a music album because she's really got, like, you know, the singing bug and everything, right? And while I respect her and like her and everything, And I feel like in the entertainment world, you should always, or even in life, you should always do what makes you happy. If something's not making you happy, don't do it. And if something is, go do that. But you also gotta be smart about it. And for her to leave this show was the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. And I hope it doesn't come back to bite her in the butt, because a lot of people in Hollywood who leave their TV shows and think they're going to be a big movie star or a big singer have always flopped. Their movies have flopped, their music career has flopped, and they had to go back to television if television would even allow them. Now, here's the thing about her that I never knew. Now, see, and another reason why I say it's the most unprofessional thing is because it was really a slap in the face to the creators of this show. Before this show, I've never seen her in nothing. And what I discovered is that because this is actually her first televised acting gig, she started off in theater. She's been doing that since 2019 to 2021. And you know, when it comes to stage productions, not too many people know who you are. And so this show literally put her on them. It put her in like people's televisions, you know. People now knew who she was, you know what I'm saying? This show started her career and everything in 2021. That's what I know her from, right? After this, it propelled her to do bigger things. She did the Mean Girls movie, which she was in the Mean Girls play. She was the replacement for Regina George and everything. So it was natural for her to take over that role for the Mean Girls musical reboot and everything. Not the original one that I love from the early 2000s, the one in which I could not even finish after 30 minutes and turned it off. Yes, I could not finish Mean Girls the musical. I just could not. I just couldn't do it. But a lot of people liked her role in that. Well, they should, because she played Regina in the play, and Lighton is a very rude type character. After that, she was on SNL as the musical guest. After that, she hasn't done anything. That's right. She's literally only had 2 acting careers in her like televised entertainment life, not counting the stuff on stage, because that's not on television. And so I'm like, dude, this show made her a household name, but the Mean Girls movie put her on the map. And so for her to be all like, I'm quitting, I'm gonna start like a music career, that was a slap in the face. And like I said before, it better not bite her in the butt, because if her music career does not launch off the way she does, she's gonna have to come back. And I just think that was the most unprofessional, unsmartest move a person could make in their entertainment business, because Hollywood is cutthroat. Once you leave and try to come back, they're not gonna want you back. Elizabeth Hurley found that out the hard way. Elizabeth Hurley, who's an actress I like, but she's not the greatest actress in the world. She only has like a one note to her acting. She doesn't have much depth, much evolution to her acting. She always plays every role the exact same way, and therefore she gets typecast and stuff. And she took 8 years off to start a family and just do the family thing. When she came back, Hollywood kind of didn't want her back because she left. And then they started putting her in TV roles, and now she's just doing a bunch of Christmas movies and posting bikini pictures on Instagram at the age of 50 or something like that. And she looks amazing, don't get me wrong. But it's just kind of like, once you leave, they don't forget that. And you have to be smart in Hollywood. You can't just up and leave and do something else, because you might not get those opportunities later on in life. And since the Mean Girls movie that came out earlier this year, I don't see nothing else on her Wikipedia page since then. Maybe she's out doing her music thing. Who knows? Maybe she's just out living her life. But she's young, she's attractive, she's talented, and she just threw away a television show that made her a household name. And not only that, but it caused the writers to have to scramble right around her character and write certain people off, like her love interest, Alicia and stuff. Alicia was in the first season, Alicia missed the second season because she filmed a movie, and she was also doing Grey's Anatomy where she was a main cast member. For whatever reason, she came back at the end of season 2, but I think her Grey's Anatomy stint is over with now, and so she's back on this show for the first episode, but she's gonna get written, well actually she's about to be written off because her character is about to take an internship with a mayor, I think in New York or something like that, which caused Lighton to be pissed off, but then Lighton got an opportunity to go to Boston. So because of that, now she has to be written off the show. And it's that domino effect that like affects, whatever decision you make is a domino effect that like, affects other people and stuff. Now, the creator said there was no hard feelings and stuff, but some people had to be salty because they probably had some other stuff that like, right. Because think about it. The Bella character was supposed to transfer schools, so there was no telling what was going to happen to her character. And so now her character had to come back because Lighton is now going to leave. And so I just like, as much as I like Reneé Rapp, she's young and she needs better people counseling her in the entertainment business because she can make mistakes. I don't know. I hope this isn't a mistake, but it could be, you know what I'm saying? Because her singing voice is going to have to be amazing for her to leave. Like Ariana Grande. Ariana started off as an actress and everything, but then she started to wow people with her singing voice. And we all know what happened after that. She became a mega music star. But now she's dipping her toes back in acting because she misses it and everything. But what if that doesn't happen for Reneé Rapp? Like she probably just go back to like stage and theater and everything. And that pays less than television and movies and stuff. And so, this is when you really need like an agent, a manager, some counsel, and to tell you, hey, look, you can make this decision if it makes you happy and everything, but you gotta think about the long term because people would not know who she is if it was not for this show, period. Like, that's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the show. That went on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I just had to get that out because it's the honest to God truth. And so, yeah, I'm upset that, she's leaving because when the trailer 3 dropped and it had thousands upon thousands of comments, but only a tiny handful of them, maybe a dozen, talked about the actual trailer. Everybody else comments, they're talking about how they're sad Reneé left the show. And so now that has to make you think, are those fans gonna leave the show now that she's not here? She's only gonna be in half the season. So 3 episodes tops, and she's already been in the first. So would they continue with the show if their favorite character is now gone? Only time will tell, which makes me think this could be the last season and everything. And also because it's HBO Max and David Zaslav and he doesn't like diversity and that man has ruined so much on HBO Max. It's just blah, you know what I'm saying? So like only time will tell. And so they had to wrap up those storylines from the end of season 2, which really, really, really sucked and everything. And so with those storylines, you have that I'll just get her out the way since I got through talking about her. Lighton. So her and Alicia and her dad spent the entire summer together hanging out. Her dad is very supportive of who she is. Her mom's a little bit more icy. Her brother's pretty cool, but he got written off the show by season 2. And so Nico's not there. And so like, her dad's very supportive and everything, and that's so great because most dads wouldn't, especially because he's a very conservative man, and a lot of them don't like the LGBT. So for him to be supportive of her is like amazing, so that gives her the backbone and the strength to also who to be, who she wants to be. Her and Alicia is getting along very well. But then Alicia gets like a text, and this is where things go wrong in their relationship after they just got back together. She got some type of internship, I think like in New York or something like that, for like a mayor. And she wants to leave because she said college, is not going to be for her. She doesn't want to see a bunch of idiots getting drunk, and she doesn't want to be in debt for the rest of her life. This is something she's actually passionate about. Lighton gets extremely pissed and takes it out on her, because, they're finally back together. She's happy, but I don't like how that's written, where her character's pissed off at her because of the decision she made, when this is all really Reneé Rapp's fault. And so, not to mention Alicia seems so different this season. I don't know what it is about her, but something is off with her personality. You don't see her hanging out with all her friends, and you don't see her acting like an ultra feminist and everything, or all for like LGBT activism. Something is just off with her. I don't know what. And so, when Lighton goes to her class, she sees that nobody is there. And the teacher tells her because nobody else passed the test to get into the class, they had to drop it. So he suggests that she takes like a bus and take a 3-hour bus and go to a different school to take it. So that's what she does in the episode. And there she is bothered by I'm assuming I don't know, this kind of hillbilly type woman who's so annoying and everything. I've said this before. When they write stereotypical characters on this show, they do the extreme version of those stereotypes and not the real version of these stereotypes. So this woman's super annoying, won't stop talking about we're gonna be best friends every day. And so that's getting on her nerves and stuff. And so then, I knew where this was going to go, right? I just knew where that was going to go. So then she talks to her teacher and is all I might not be able to do that. And he suggests she can go to MIT or something like that, right? And she's all isn't that in Boston? I wonder who's going to be else in New York, her girlfriend. So that's how they're going to write her off the show. I'm just kind of there had to been some shade thrown as to why she's gonna go. Alicia actually had a good opportunity, but Lighton just had some class she wanted to go to. Who cares? You're gonna be an intern at a mayor, or you just gonna take a class? So I would have liked it better if they would have written her off better on the show, saying that she got the internship or something like that, other than her just wanting to take a class and leaving her friends behind. But hey, whatever. Bella, Lord Jesus, thank God they fixed this character. I don't know if I could take it anymore. 2 seasons and she got on my nerves. She got on everybody's nerves from other reviews I saw. So, like they did with the other storyline, they had to wrap hers up very quickly. She failed a lot of her classes last semester. And a lot of people don't like her because she's just this wild child, sex crazed person who wants to have a good time at college and not take much stuff seriously. And this has annoyed a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like her, and all kind of other stuff. So she feels like everything she touches turns to poison or whatever. And so she'll have a better start at another school. So she got the paperwork to transfer, as she's talking to this one statue, and hitting on the statue because she still gotta be Bella, you know what I'm saying? This woman comes up to her and is just kind of like, just take the classes and like the next semester and bring up your GPA. You don't have to transfer or some crap like that. And so she's not gonna transfer now. That big storyline just dropped like that. And so now she's gonna be a mentor to all the new freshmen and stuff. One mentor she's gonna person she's gonna mentoree is the foreign exchange guy's sister or cousin. I can't remember which one it is. The sister or cousin is a very rude girl, stuck up. She says dumb things like, okay, this might be Gen Z of me. Who says that? Nobody talks like that. This is by a bunch of adults who don't know how to write a bunch of 18-year-olds. Seriously, man. And like, that's why I said with the writing has to be a little bit better in this show. And so anyways, she is being more responsible. She's not being as, or at least in the first episode, she's not as wild. She's not as crazy. Her little sex positive self has like toned itself down and everything. And this is because of backlash from the fandom. So many people and the Indian community did not like this whatsoever. They also didn't like how Bella is always dating white guys. I don't care who she dates. You know, you like who you like, and I like interracial dating. But a lot of people said this was just Mindy Kaling imprinting herself on Bella, who happens to be an Indian American character, just like Mindy Kaling is an Indian American girl, or a woman, I should say. And so they say it's with all the Mindy's, like, you know, projects, the Mindy project, that too. And so because of all the backlash, I mean, this was swift backlash for this character, they decided to course correct and fix this character. Don't know who she dates, but she's not as wild and nutty as she was before. There's a little bit of nut still there, but not as like nutty buddy as before and stuff. And the fact that she's taking on this more mature role and want to mentor people is a great step for her. I had a mentor my freshman year. That guy sucked. I only saw him one time, then I saw him a second time. He was some frat guy. I'm all like, you know you're my mentor, right? He's like, I am. He's like, oh, are you doing good in school? I'm like, yeah. Well, good. Well, don't like do drugs and stuff. I'm like, I never was. So I never saw that dude afterwards unless he was like running around with his frat and everything. And, I hate when people take on those positions and stuff. So I'm just gonna lump these three characters together since their whole storyline basically revolve around each other. It's the Whitney, Kimberly, and Caden situation. Kimberly is the white or Jewish girl, and the other two black characters. Whitney's the girl, and Caden's the dude. So just like with the whole Bella situation, this situation got some backlash as well. See, Whitney was dating Kanan, but something happened to where they broke up. I forget what, because it's been 2 years and I'm not about to rewatch it. And so he decided to kiss Whitney's friend, who happens to also be his friend and co-worker, Kimberly. When Whitney saw this, she was pissed last season and asked, Kimberly, hey, what are you doing? She's like, oh, nothing. And so she lied to her and stuff. So this caused Whitney to move out their dorm and join the sorority she never really wanted to join, because the sorority is kind of like this stuck up all white sorority and stuff like that, right? But deep down inside, she's always wanted to like be with it, but it was actually Lighton who didn't want to be a part of it more. And so while in the sorority, she's having a difficult time because like if she's late to like a mixer or something like that, they charge her money. If she's not wearing the same colors as they do for an event, they charge her money. Is that really what sororities do? I don't know much about sororities other than that they're a bunch of stuck up people, because I went to college and I met them firsthand and they are stuck up. Me and my friend, the freshman year, first night there, we tried to talk and get into us. We didn't try to get into a sorority. We just tried to like hang out with them in their sorority dorm. They would not let us because we're not guys, we're not frats, and we don't have muscles. But I actually got to talk to like a really nice girl who sadly passed away that same year. She was in a car accident on like a bridge or something like that. She was actually nice. There's only been about 2 or 3 sorority girls I've ever met that was really, really nice and who would just talk to like anybody, right? And so, like, other than that, I really don't know much about them. Um, Stuff with that one girl's car I keyed because she made fun of me, but wait, whatever. Anyway, anyway, so hey, don't make fun of me. You won't get your car keyed. Anyways, do not card nobody keys if they make fun of you. All right, I was 18. Okay, just don't do it. Anyway, so like, she's not really feeling this sorority and everything. As a result of like what Kimberly did, her friends Bella and Lighton, they still hang with her, but separately from that of Whitney. And Kimberly had no idea that, they make separate like lunch dates and, they started a separate thread so they can talk to like, Whitney and everything. And so like, it turns out Kaden and Kimberly haven't even slept together. She doesn't even identify them as boyfriend and girlfriend. So she can hook up with Nico in a matter of seconds and be boyfriend and girlfriend. And also that dude from season 2. But for this one, they have to like make them wait. Anyways. So she's really upset and she's trying to do her best to get back on Whitney's good graces, but it's just not working. And when her sorority finds out, they pretty much kick her out. They kick her out. They shield like Whitney and they won't let Kimberly talk to her. So when Kaden comes back, he gives her like a shirt from New York that says it's like a pretzel in the shape of a heart. So it's I Heart New York, but with a pretzel. She loves it, but then when they're about to do it, they both don't because she starts acting weird, asking how your mom doing, talking about gross stuff she saw at work. And they both realize that maybe this should not happen. So they break up. She begs for forgiveness. It does not work. Bella, being the better person this season, puts them in a closet and they talk their feelings out. And basically, Kimberly begs to never betray her again or hurt her feelings, that she'll just take her back because she misses her. And that's what happened. Literally got resolved in about 2 to 3 minutes. Now, this storyline pisses me off for a lot of reasons. One, this should have been a storyline that lasted the entire season. Them having a falling out happening off screen during the summer, and we didn't even get to see Kaden and Kimberly like ever together as boyfriend and girlfriend. This would have brought so much drama if they would have lingered on this story the entire season. Like, and see how it really affected Whitney and everything. Instead of her just telling like the audience and everything. This show needs drama, but for some reason it act like it was scared to go there and everything. And instead it just wanted them to be friends and have a good time. That is not how you write a good show. This is a drama comedy. You got the comedy, you need the freaking drama and everything. So this was a storyline that was completely wasted from last season, and one that was extremely rushed that should have lasted the entirety of the season. But the reason why this storyline got dropped is because fan backlash. The black community did not like the fact that Kaden ended up with a white or Jewish girl. I'm not sure what exactly she is. The parents, I think, are Jewish and everything. I think the actress is Jewish, but they play actual white characters. And so, like, the audience did not like that. They didn't like the idea that Whitney, a black girl, and Kaden, a black dude, broke up so he can date a white girl. One, people should have been more offended that the writers were kind of like, hey, there's only like 3 black characters on the show, but 2 of them are main and one's recurring who barely shows up. So let's hook the black guy and the black girl up together because they're black. And I hate when television does that, or when they partner the black people up together and stuff. Avengers did this for Infinity War with Sam and Rhodey and everything. And I've said this before, I wanted Kanan and Kimberly to date ever since season 1 because Kimberly and him worked together. So they already had that close relationship. They're friends. But not only that, but Kimberly has a white family that grew up in a small white town where there aren't that many black people or no black people. And in the first episode, that is very apparent. Like, she doesn't really know how to act around black people. And then when she tries to get on their good graces, she overdoes it because she lives in a bubble world. And so for her to be friends with him, but then later on date him, caused her to, help. Well, actually, her being friends with him caused her to get out her bubble and everything. And because it's the same way with woke culture and television and movies, when they want to have a diverse, storyline with a diverse character, it's a bunch of white people writing black characters or people of color, it doesn't really matter what race, and they don't do a good job at it. It comes off as forced and unoriginal, and it also comes off as unorganic. And that's a problem that level-headed people like myself have. But then, of course, those bigots on YouTube, they just have like a field day with it. But people like me who's level-headed, I want a storyline like that, but I want it to flow. But it doesn't flow because they don't know how to write for it. And so this was a good learning experience for her and everything. Because even in this episode, they reminded us that she comes from that small town and her dad doesn't know how to act and everything. So he overdoes it. And I thought they were just like the cutest little couple because she's been in 2 relationships before, Nico, who was Lighton's brother, and that was more of like a sex thing, and then it turned into like a real relationship. And then they wrote him off in the 2nd season, and then they hooked her up with the dude in the dorm, and it was just like a sex thing. And so this was like a real relationship, and you saw their friendship constantly evolve from season 1. And I never really felt that same way between him and Whitney. It was just more like a force, let's put them together because they're both black type thing. They really didn't have that much in common, and she liked it another dude. And so, this really pisses me off. They broke those 2 up. So now they're just going to go back as being friends and this and that. And they literally just toss Kaden around from girl to girl when it comes to the 2 main cast members, just so they can give him something to do because they can't write nothing else for him. He's only there to be a love interest. So I am not happy at all with this storyline. And I finally got what I wanted at the end of season 2, but then they took it away from me. Yes, it was messed up. She dated somebody else's ex that's her friend, but they were broken up. But I still understand why Whitney's pissed. But you gotta remember, Whitney screwed up that relationship in season 2. And that's the problem. Whitney never pays for any of her mistakes, I've noticed. Since season 1, she's been making mistakes after mistake. In season 1, she was dating that coach and everything. In season 2, I think she was starting to like that one classmate of hers, which caused her eyes to wander away from Kanan and everything. And she never really pays for any of them. When she was put I think she did something in the boys' locker room, like a camera or something like that. And they're naked in the changing room, and she never got punished for that. When it was between her and the guys who can run faster on the treadmill, of course she won because she's a girl and that's how they wrote it for her and stuff. Even though the guy was big and muscular and she's super skinny. But then again, skinny people have good endurance, so that can go either way. And it's just that's the problem with the writing they have with this show sometimes. It's like when they make a mistake, at least the girls do, they never truly really get punished, except for Bella in season 2. But like other than that, a little bit of Lighton at the end of season 1. But other than that, they really never get punished and everything, and storylines just kind of come and go. And they got more cast members coming in that are new to fill the void of Reneé, but honestly, they don't need a new cast member. I forget the one girl's name who works with Kanan and Kimberly with the curly hair. Just put her as the new member. She's been there since day one, so why not? She hangs out with them. She has lunch with them. She knows all of them. Make her an actual real main character and not a recurring character that she is. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.